What's good, y'all? It's Zylar. So, we're going to talk about my old nemesis from PoE 1 today. Time Lost Jewels. Whatever they cooked up in PoE 2, whatever the fuck this thing is, man, I never thought I'd see the day where they got more annoying to work with. It was already pretty bad in PoE 1 when Divine Orbs became the go-to currency to be used, and I could no longer just Divine Orb roll them. And in PoE 1, it's already kind of rough that Cluster Jewels are pretty much a Harvest Reforge exclusive option. You can kind of fossil craft them for a few builds, and there are a few things you can do with Exalt and Null. I've done this a lot. I've profit crafted tons of Cluster Jewels in PoE 1, and I've crafted my own on many occasions. But it's not exactly the cleanest process. And this hybrid thing between the both of them, the Time Lost Sapphire and Emerald Ruby, it's just, for the crafting options we currently have in the game, this thing is just, I hate stuff like this, man. Stuff that's just pretty much exists for Mirror Man Randy Savage. Because sometimes I wonder, there's an SSF mode of this game, right? It's so weird to me that items like this exist that seem purely for trade. I don't know if they're going to make these easier to roll, if there's going to be a crafting system coming along, if they're going to drop more frequently, if omens would help a lot with actually crafting these if they were more accessible, which they're not. But this is egregious, man. The moment, the only way to craft something like this is with Chaos Orbs. You can try buying them blue, because you can actually search up their mods when they're blue via their names by looking at PoE2DB. But you pretty much get, you're going to pay 1 to 2 divines for a decent starting base, and you're going to get one shot at upgrading that item into something worth using. It's the one-shot crafting system at the moment. And if you miss, well, then you just miss, and that's it. So divine, 2 divines down. Maybe they drop well pre-rolled, but anything dropping well pre-rolled that is even remotely usable starts off at 20 to 30 divines. So your power, your agency over actually acquiring one of these that are decent is pretty fucking garbage. These things are, in my opinion, the Time Lost Jewels, as they are currently in PoE 2, are a massive trap for 99.99% of players. Because again, unless you're Mirror Man Randy Savage, buying one of these, using one of these, even selling one of these, it's all extremely difficult. The trade website does not have infrastructure yet for these jewels and searching their mods. So pretty much, if you're selling them, someone is going out of his way to try and find something with the mods you have, which means likely you are getting sniped, or you'll have it at too low of a value. And even if you price it correctly, the odds that someone who can purchase it will also be able to find it is still pretty low. And if you're trying to buy it, anything that's obviously good is probably 5 to 10x more valuable than it should be. But you can't put them all against each other because you can't search them. So it's just completely fucked. These jewels conceptually are kind of cool. If we had more agency over crafting them, they'd be neat. I know they're supposed to be a very in-game type jewel, but even then, it's a bit absurd how you access them and how you even acquire them. The whole thing just feels like another one of those instances of something that's in the game, but not in the game. Like, it is here. Yes, you can interact with it. True. But should you? Should you, though? I don't know. Because these are quite powerful items for minion builds. But, I've done everything in the game. +4 Arbiter, +4 Zesht, tier 18. You know, just roll the clip.
Ready burns for your world. Her only salvation is written in ash. Tainted morality, coursing through time to find you. In the mother soul was she of wisdom and action.
Now!
We split the thread of reality's coiling lies.
And that's all without jewels like these. You don't need jewels like these. Nobody needs jewels like these. They're going to cost you an arm and a leg to push yourself to a power level that you're talking about. Maybe, I don't know, we don't have PoB, but you're talking about maybe at most a 4 to 5% gain if you're using a standard yellow jewel like this. If you're doing an adorned setup with increased effective small passives and maybe even an upgrades radius to large, which is probably I mean, something with both of those. Corrupted blue is like probably 100 divines or something, so just as expensive as the jewel as the adorned you'd be buying to boost them. Maybe you'll get 10-15%, but they're just bait. They're just bait. If you find a really nice one, like I actually plan to use this one, and I Chaos Orbed a few times. I was curious what this would sell for at one point, so I threw it into a public tab and got 3 divines, 5 divines, 10, and even 15 divine message someone trying to buy. At which point I said, man, this shit's fucking cap. It's ridiculous that I can't look up something similar to this and try to sell it. But there is a cast on freeze Blood Mage crit build that I'm interested in playing. So trying to incorporate it, see if that takes that build to the next level, because it's not your standard Archmage Spark build. But do I think I would ever recommend other people go and try to buy these, try to sell these, try to farm these from Sekima Trials? No. No, the only advice I would give you with any of these is if you find them blue and they've rolled one decent mod, sell them for 2 to 3 divines. If they roll the upgrades to radius large or increase the small passives in the radius, you can search that up on trade. I think those are going for quite a bit. You can risk valing them to get them corrupted, sell great for adorned builds. Other than that, until GGG adds trade infrastructure, until GGG adds better ways of crafting jewels and just crafting in general, so addressing ritual, I would steer clear of these jewels. That's just my personal recommendation. If you find the video helpful, if you're thinking about these and I've saved you some currency, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.